Good morning, or good afternoon, I should say. Okay, let me turn on my lights. Okay, okay, good. Okay, I am live now. Let me start on YouTube. Okay, so I guess I just need to wait and see who joins and who doesn't join. If nobody joins, we end it. No wahala. Try to open. Hey, living us, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Please share the link, share the link. And I'm also on Twitter as well. I'm also on Twitter. So you can share. In fact, let me copy this and share it with Motun so that she can share it as well. All right. Living us, go ahead and start asking your questions. So before others get in here, you can almost get a one-on-one um, a one-on-one counseling session for free. So start asking your questions and get your answers right here before before it gets full. Yeah, before more people come. Thank you for coming. Who is this person? Okay. All right, let me go back to Twitter. Yes. Okay. Yes. Awesome. You're welcome. I've been good. I've been choked with work. I know. That's a good problem to have. It's a really good problem to be choked with work. That's a good problem. It's better than not having anything to do. So that's a good problem. But yeah, draft your questions, post them, and I will answer while we get other people in here. Yeah. Awesome. I'm not sure if Motsun is here, but I'm sure she's in the background managing others. I really need to set up my whiteboarding. I need to figure out whiteboarding equipment so that I can, go back to teaching on a whiteboard. Happy Saturday, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Happy? Maybe I want to do it this way. Okay, that's good. This red is really reddening. I feel like my hair color has come in even more. Hello. Okay. So let me. If you've joined the YouTube chat, please put something in the chat. If you've joined the YouTube session, please put something in the chat so that I know you are here, so I can acknowledge your presence. It would be nice to acknowledge that you are here. So drop something in the chat, drop an emoji, say hi, say what's up. Oh, it's my cousin's birthday today. I don't know, it might be a scam. Aha, okay. Livinus, I'm coming to you now. Thank you for your question. Although I think you are still typing. Okay, you said, yes, good evening, dear. Okay, 27, the only son in your family. Okay, are you the firstborn? What's your birth order? Although being the only son is already saying enough. But what's the birth order? Okay, but you're the only son in your family. Okay, you don't have a relationship. That's okay. And you're focused on improving your skills. If I remember you correctly, I think you're an engineer, right? You're doing software engineering. Go say, sorry, those of you on YouTube, I'm also on Twitter. So if you see me, switch my attention, it's because I'm on Twitter. Hey, darling, how are you? How things? How life? Thank you for coming. We're still waiting for people to trickle in here. Yeah, we're still waiting for people to trickle onto Twitter. But okay, so you said you don't have a relationship and you're focused on improving your skills. Okay, that's good. The relationship piece is fine. I don't know. I feel like culturally, you always have people in two buckets. You always have people in the bucket of I'm going to pursue a relationship if it makes sense. And then you have people in the bucket of, oh, I've reached a certain age. A relationship is a must in my life right now. I think that second bucket is more likely to land you in trouble, to be honest. Not that it will, but it's more likely to. Yeah. Hey, SM Tech. Good to see you too, dear. Thank you for coming. So, okay, so Livina says it's also okay, it's considering Japa. Yeah, Japa is good. I support Japa. Anybody that want to Japa, I support them. But I feel the pressure of time and bigger responsibilities. You're still very young. 27 is not a baby, but it's not like super old either. And you can make a lot happen in 3 years. You can make a whole lot happen in 3 years. Yeah. So I don't want you to feel like, I understand 27 is not a baby. Yes, you're not a baby, sure. But it's not like you have so much time. Hey, Emmanuel on Twitter Space, how are you? Yes. How would you advise I balance skill growth, family expectation? Very good question. I'll answer this for you. But you said you are the only son. Okay. So leaving us, my honest, and you people know me, I don't sugarcoat. I say everything exactly from my heart, my mind. I don't, you all know me for that. Okay. So I know living us, I need to make some disclaimers because we'll always have people in here who are not used to me. And they'll say things like, Queen Arit, you're mean. Queen Arit, you are too harsh. Queen Arit. Okay. So it depends. I know Levinus. Okay. So I feel more freedom to speak to him directly because I know him already. Okay. So this isn't necessarily the way I would speak to everybody. All right. So just understand that. Hey, Michael Codes, how are you? Twitter Space, good to see you. I'm on Twitter Space and YouTube for those who don't know. Levinus, the path forward is to become a disappointment. Okay. That's your path forward. Yeah, that's going to be the foundation of it. Is to become a disappointment. Okay. Software developer, last born of 6 girls. Ash, I was hoping you say you're in the middle. I feel like as an only boy, being in the middle is best. As an only boy, being the first. As an only boy, being the last. But it's okay. It's okay. So let me proceed. Yes, I remember you are a software developer. Iyo, how are you? Twitter Space, how are you guys doing? I'm on Space and YouTube Live. Okay, so I'm talking to but you can drop your questions. You all know how Mentor Corner go already. So you can drop your questions in the chat and I will read questions from both. You can also DM me. If you don't want people to know that you're the one that asked your question, send me a DM on Twitter. Okay, I will read your DM and I will answer you. Yeah, and I won't say your name. So if you want to ask anonymous, just send me a DM on Twitter. Okay, leaving us back to you. Your way forward is to become a disappointment. And what I mean by that is, I'm not saying you should aim for mediocrity. I'm not saying that you shouldn't try. Lord Dance, how are you? Good to see you, Lord Dance. I'm not saying that you shouldn't try to excel. No, I'm not saying that. Ian, hey dear, how are you? Welcome. I'm not saying that you shouldn't try. I'm not saying you shouldn't be ambitious. Okay, what I mean is you need to disappoint whatever image or expectation has been placed on you without any of your inputs. That's the way forward. Okay, bottom line, that's the way forward. Because I could sit here and tell you, oh, navigate this like this, talk to them like that, let them know this is your plan. Like I could sit here and give you 10 different ways to navigate these expectations. But to me, the bottom line is just disappoint them. Okay, so what does that look like in practice? Yeah. It's very popular with Nigerian culture and even African culture as a whole. Children are seen as retirement plans. Okay. Now I think it's changing a little bit. Okay. So it's not as bad or not as deep as it used to be, but it's still there. Okay. There's this expectation that I had you, I birthed you, I raised you, I fed you. So whatever sort of quality of life that I enjoy in my later years is wholly dependent on you, my child. Yeah. And then there's also the layer of you being the only male child. And there can be a lot of expectation around it is your job to set up your siblings. I see this more with firstborn children, either male or female, right? The idea is you came first, you have experienced the world first, you know how it is. Do things to make it easier for your siblings. Put your siblings through school. Make sure your siblings, earn a better degree than you did. There's this unspoken expectation that because you're the first, you need to make things easier for your siblings. Okay. This is the part that we don't like to say in Nigerian culture, and that is every man for himself, God for us all. We don't like that. We do not like that. I'm going to say something that will ruffle a few feathers. I heard somebody say one time, I don't credit myself with this, but I heard somebody say one time that whether we like it or not, communities that have a lot of cohesion tend to be poor. We don't like it. We don't like it because it sounds elitist, it sounds uppity, it sounds prideful, it has a lot of negative. But if you really sit to think about it, you see the truth in that. Okay. When there's less to go around, you become so much more highly dependent on the people in your community. And there's both positive and negative result of that. The positive is that sense of cohesion, that sense of togetherness, that sense of, oh, we're in it together, that sense, it can feel very like tight knit. Yeah. The downside of it, though, is that God forbid you start to break away from the collective poverty level. God forbid you start to make something of your life. Automatically, it becomes your responsibility to drag everybody with you. Yeah. So it's a double-edged sword. Okay. And I do not mean to listen. Y'all that have been knowing me, you know me. Those who don't know me will be offended. That's okay. I'm used to it. But I speak the truth. Okay. So that is the unique situation living us that you find yourself. You find yourself, you're ambitious, you're talented, you're skilled, you're growing yourself, you want better for yourself, but there's this unspoken expectation that you must serve the family first. You must make sure that you are not making any progress. It's almost like your family will say, okay, you can do 2 steps forward, but after 2 steps forward, better make sure everybody has gone 1 step or the same 2 steps. So they're not against your advancements. Their own is that with every few step of advancement you make, you better pull everybody along with you. And so if you're not pulling these people along with you, then you are committing a grievous sin. You are it's tantamount to betrayal. And I know the sort of emotionally charged language that our family members will use, very emotionally charged, to literally make you out to be a demon. So you have to disappoint them. Okay. That's the way out. You have to disappoint them. You have to draw their disappointments. You have to pick your poison. Pick your poison. Pick your hard. Life is hard. Choose the hard you want to endure. There's no easy way. It's just hard, hard, hard. This is hard. That is hard. Pick your hard. And so I usually encourage people or give people permission. Sometimes not encouragement, just permission. You need someone to give you the permission to be a certain way. So I give people permission to be a disappointment. And what that does is it actually liberates you, right? Because, and it depends. Some people you be, they'll keep reminding you, "Oh, you have to grow a thick skin." Okay. Somebody can be disappointed in you, but still have hope that they can still pull you back to where you're supposed to be in their mind. Yeah. So disappointing them is one step, but then you also have to endure the repeated attempts to still influence how you're moving, or still influence what you're doing, or influence your priority system, right? They still need to, because they're still hoping, I can get living us back. I can, yeah. So it's not just the initial disappointment, but it's also weathering the storms of being influenced, being pressured. Oh, we didn't raise you this way. Nigerian families know how to weaponize emotions. We didn't raise you this way. I cannot believe a child of my own womb, a son of my loins. They go into that deep language and make you feel like you are just a worthless child. Okay, it's a storm. It's not going to end you. You just have to get through it. Okay, it's part of adulting. A big part of adulting is being comfortable with people not being happy with you, and it's the pathway to freedom. Does that mean you cut your family off? No. Does that mean you stop talking to them? No. Does that mean you stop caring? No. What it means is you stop living as their option. It's a very dangerous thing to be somebody's only option. I always try to never put myself in that position. I don't care how much you thank me. I don't care how grateful you are. I don't care how much you say you love me. I don't care how much you say, oh, I don't know what I would have done without you. I don't care. To me, it's not a flex to be somebody's only option. It's bondage. The only people for whom that is not true is my children. But even that is to a point. So once they become an adult, you better find other options. It's not healthy to be somebody's only option, to be your family's only option. It's not. It's not. Yeah. So living us, I will really say, to me, that's the crux of it. That's the foundation of it. There's a part of you that is afraid. You're afraid to disappoint. You're afraid to not be seen as, the savior of the family, the helper of the family, the one who moved the family forward, the one who put the family name on the map. There's so many ways we have to say it, but it's the same thing. I've said it before, I'll continue to say it again. I don't credit myself, it's Steve Harvey. He said the best thing you can do for poor people is not be one of them. I didn't say the only thing. I said the best thing, the number one thing you can do for poor people is not be one of them. Once you are there, then you can start to intelligently and wisely look at how you want to invest in other lives, how you want to support, then you are in the position to do that. Okay. In terms of balancing skill growth, it depends on your plans. Are you in a community? Do you have mentors? Do you have people you look up to? Do you have people you listen to? Skill growth and acquisition, it depends on your unique career goals. But that family expectation part is disappointment. That's the way forward. I know it sounds very depressing, but it's the truth. Just disappoint them. Disappoint them. Go through the storms of them trying to get you back, and then eventually they'll write you off. Eventually they might even curse you. It won't stand. Don't be afraid of curses. That's another thing that we use in African culture to manipulate each other. Is this idea of curses. It's manipulation. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You're not doing what you're doing because you don't want them to succeed. You're doing what you're doing because you need to succeed. Your desire to succeed on an individual level does not have anything to do with somebody else's. But no, you are not against anybody. You are for yourself. Be careful with people who make you being for yourself automatically means you are against them. It's manipulation. It's witchcraft, as far as I'm concerned. But they'll turn it into that because you're hyper focused on yourself, because you're disciplined with yourself, because you have a dream, you have a goal, you have an ambition. Once they feel like they are no longer that top priority or central priority, all of a sudden everything you're doing for yourself is you are against me, you don't love me, you don't know. It's manipulation. Don't fall for it. Okay. And unfortunately, African families are very good at this. We have PhD in this kind of behavior. I see it all the time. Yeah. So it's a hard pill to swallow, but it's a good pill. It's a good medicine. It will set the stage for the rest of your life in many ways. And then eventually people will eventually respect you. They will eventually see that, okay, this is how Livinus moves. You cannot manipulate him. You cannot play with his emotions. You cannot. They will eventually learn that. And then they will come a different way. But it takes time. It may take years. But eventually your family will learn to come at you a different way. They will now understand, okay, this does not fly. You don't have to shout. You don't need long story. Just face your front. Do what it is you are doing. It's your actions that will speak louder than any words you can share. Eventually, they will fight, they will hate, they will curse, they will shout, they will report you to this one, they will drag you. Just stand your ground. The Bible says something, say, having done all to stand, stand. You don't have to throw punch, you don't have to fight, you don't have to insult anybody. Just stand. Once they see you cannot be moved, they will adjust. Human beings are nothing if not adaptable. What we know how to do is adapt. That's what we know how to do. We've been doing it for generations. So eventually they will get the message that, okay, this one I cannot play with them like I used to. Then they will adjust. And then you will have your freedom. Okay. What I mean by freedom is then you will have set a standard where they know they cannot derail your personal individual career plans or professional plans because of their need. They will know that. So that's what I mean by freedom. It doesn't mean you stop caring for your family. It doesn't mean you stop helping as you can. No, but it becomes your decision. You are no longer being dictated to. That's the difference. That's what disappointing them will get you. You are no longer being dictated to. They'll come and blow up your plan. Why? Because I have decided that this is more important than this. To blazes with what you think. That's how they operate. So that's what you need to break. You're breaking that tendency. You're not disconnecting from your family. No. You're not saying you don't love them. No. You're not never going to show up for them. No. But you are going to do it on your terms. That's the key thing. Now, this is for adults. So if you are here and you are 17, this is not for you. Okay. If you're listening to me right now and you're 15, this is not for you. You are still a child. Okay. I'm talking to adults who are paying their own bills and looking after themselves. That's who I'm talking to. Okay. So don't be in somebody's house eating somebody's food and think that you implement what I'm saying. Don't do that. Okay. So this advice I'm giving has context. Okay. Leaving us, does that help? Does that help, or did I not answer it well? If I didn't answer it well, say it with your chest. Okay. If I didn't answer the question, say it with your chest. Don't be afraid. Okay. Just let me know whether I answered it or not. But that's what I'm sensing is the central issue that you're asking, is that thing about how do I disappoint my family? Disappoint them. It's not the end of the world. I promise you, it's not the end of the world. It feels like it, but it's not. Okay, just disappoint them. Hello, thank you for coming to Mentor Corner. So I am on Twitter Space and I'm on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, drop your questions in the chat. If you're on Twitter Space, you can either drop your questions in the comment section or you can DM me. Now, if you DM me, it's anonymous. So I will ask your question, but I will not reveal your name. Okay, I will just answer the question anonymous. Yeah. So if you don't want anybody to know that you are the one asking the question, you can send me a DM and I will read it. Dr. Alice, hey, my friend is here. Good to see you, my dear. I just saw your face now. Ada, my day one. Ada has been with me since the beginning. Oh, before they were calling me Queen Arit. Ada has been with me. Good to see you, dear. How are you? And everybody else in the space. Demola, David, Uchenna, Ruth, good to see you, dear. Reborn, Lord Dance, good to see you again. Welcome. Please drop your questions in the chat. Okay, Livinus said you answered it well. I have been disappointing them, but now I have to do it with your full chest. Exactly. Go all the way, kamikaze. Just go all the way. Just there's a problem. Say if you're going to eat a frog, eat the fattest, juiciest frog you can find. If you've already committed to eating a frog, you might as well. So just go ahead and do it. Yeah, just go ahead and do it. It's painful, but it's temporary. It's temporary. And then the funny thing about human memory is that after 5 years, if you try to bring it up, they'll say, me? They'll say, no, me, I never treated, no, I always supported human beings. Nah, we are diabolical. We are very diabolical. Human beings are, 5 years, 7 years from now, nobody will remember. All they'll remember is, everything that went well. That's what they remember. They will remember how they spoke to you, how they treated you. No way. They'll say, I think you're exaggerating. No, you didn't remember it well. So don't take it to heart. Don't I know it's easier said than done, but don't try not to take things too much to heart. Human beings are very fickle. We are fickle and we're diabolical. That combination is not good. Yeah, so just prioritize yourself, prioritize your elevation, prioritize your progress. You can still be kind, you can still show up for people, but not at the detriment of your forward movement. That's the whole point. Okay, you can still show up for people, you can still bless people, you can still be there for people, but it has to be self-directed, self-dictated, and it cannot compromise your own progress. Those are the rules. Yeah. Emmanuel, I'm not talking on anybody on Twitter space. So Emmanuel, you're requesting mic. I don't have any moderator. So if you want to ask a question, Emmanuel, put it in the chat. Eh? Put it in the chat. I will read it and answer because I'm not in the position to be managing speaker section. I'm not. Okay. Thank you. No vex. All right, that was a great question. Livinus, thank you so much for that question. That was a good question. Thank you for asking it. I appreciate you. Let me see if I have any DMs. Okay, I don't have any DMs yet. Now, please, if you are in the Twitter space, please start introducing yourself in the chat. I've told you people this. Even on YouTube, if you are in the YouTube right now, introduce yourself in the chat. Introduce yourself professionally. What is your name? What do you do? Do you have a portfolio? Put it there. Do you have a LinkedIn? That is networking 101. Whenever you find yourself gathered in a space with other professionals, or that you don't know who knows who. Okay, don't tell yourself, these people, I don't know. You don't know who knows who. You never know who knows who. So form the habit of you enter a space. I do the same thing. Even when yesterday I was in a Peter Obi campaigning space, I still put my introduction. I'm an engineer, I'm a founder, I'm this, I'm a coach. I still put it. You never know. Okay, so please, if you are in the Twitter space right now, I want you to introduce yourself in the chat. Just put a few sentences and introduce yourself. Let others have the opportunity to connect with you. Yeah. Same thing on the YouTube. If you're on the YouTube now, in the chat, I want you to introduce yourself. Okay. People will watch it later, the replay, and the replay includes the chat history. And you never know who is looking. Margaret, hey dear, good to see you. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Long time. How you doing? Long time. Many of you, I never see your backlight for some time. Awesome. Thank you for coming to Mentor Corner. Livinus asked a wonderful question about balancing family expectations. He said he's the last born and the only boy of, is it 6 children? I'll be 7 children. Yeah, so he's the last born of 7 and he's the only boy. So he was asking about family responsibilities, expectations, balancing it with skill acquisition. He has some plan or some desire to japa, but he's feeling somehow about it because he feels he's going to be leaving the family. Leave them. Mm? People will say Queen Arit is wicked. Leave them. Uh, I part of why I'm able to say the things I say with my chest is because I'm not only a daughter, I'm a mother. So maybe if I wasn't a mother, maybe I wouldn't be able to, but I'm a mother. I'm raising children right now, and I'm not raising them with the expectation that they will turn around as adults and start providing for all my needs. you know, I'm raising them so that they will move forward and provide for the needs that they will have in their own life. So it's always looking forward. We're not looking backward. At least by the grace of God. Now, if my kids want to get me something nice, I will receive it graciously. But yes, I'm not raising them that they will turn around and start paying my bills. Unfortunately, so much of our culture has been like that. It's historical. They'll tell you to have 12 children so that, even if 1/4 of them make it in life, that means four. That's what they will advise you. They will say have 12 of them so that even if 1/4 make it successful, that's four successful children. With four successful children, you will live very well. That used to be the advice. And it's still the advice in many areas. Okay. But it can be difficult to be a child under that expectation. It can be. It can be. Yeah. So my advice is pretty radical. I say disappoint them. I wish it was not you that I had. I don't know why it is you. I don't know why it's you that I had to have. Other children are doing so good for their parents, but I had to, I was cursed with you. It's painful to hear. Just go through it. I'm not minimizing the pain. We really know how to weaponize words. We are very good at it in Nigerian culture. We're very good at it. I'm not saying it's not painful, but it's necessary. Okay. It's either that or you continue to be at the mercy of your family members. And that's valid too. If somebody comes and tells me, Queen Arit, I don't want to rock any boats. I'll just keep doing for them. I'll just keep I'm not going to I'm not going to discourage. I'll say more grease to your elbow. More grace to you. I don't have a dog to pick in the fights. I don't have an agenda. I'm just telling you what will actually move you forward. But if you decide you don't want to do that, no problem. I won't help you though. Because people can be very funny. They will make that kind of decision. And then every burden the family is placing on them, they will now come to you as their friend. That you should come and help them. I ain't helping shit. I'm not helping you. I support you in your decision to remain a donkey for your family. I support you. Okay, I'm not going to make you feel bad about it. I'm not going to help you either. Because people will do that, right? They don't want to go through the pain and the discomfort and the unpleasantness of what will actually set them free. They don't want to go through that. But misery loves company. They now want you to come and suffer. No. No. I'm not going to suffer with you to prove to you that I support you. I will support you without suffering with you. But I'll support you. You want to vent? Call me and vent. I'll just put the phone down and be doing what I'm doing. When you now tell me, Arit, are you there? Yes, I'm here. Yes, they don't mind them, useless people. I will hear your vent. That's not a problem. I will support you. But I'm not going to suffer with you. And people don't like that, misery loves company. They don't like that, and then they will join. You're not a good friend. Yes, I'm not. One of the most liberating things that you will come to in your life is to stop arguing with people's judgment of you. And it's easier said than done, but maybe it's my age. Maybe it's the age I've gotten to. If you tell me you're a wicked friend, yes, I am. Don't be my friend again. Bye. Because I recognize that A lot of times these things, they happen and you don't know where it's coming from. You don't know it's the universe that is directing your life for you. Or you say, I've been friends with them for so long. They've been in your life for so long. Okay, it's time for their exit. Hello. So part of why a lot of you are stressed is because you're out there trying to do reputation control. I don't care. Like, if that's how you feel, hey, I support how you feel about Arit. You have changed. Yes. Arit, you used to be this way. Correct. I'm no longer that way. I don't argue with people. I don't try to change their mind. I don't, for what? One thing I found in life is that those who really belong to you, somehow they have the grace to grow with you, to evolve, and just to hold, even if they're not fully on board, they just know how to hold space. They just know how to hold space for the version that you are right now. They just hold it. They're like, okay, this is still my friend. A different facet, yes, but this is her. But I think people who care more about controlling, people who care more about dictating, people who have an agenda for how they want to use you or use your life to some end or the other, those are the ones that really get upset, and have so much to say about how you are failing and how they don't know who you are anymore. Good. If anybody tells me, I don't know who you are anymore, Arit, good. Go know somebody else. You don't have to know me again. Thank you. It keeps you free. It does. It keeps you free. And then it also allows you to identify those who truly deserve your devotion and they truly deserve your loyalty and all of that. You have them, you know who they are. It doesn't mean that they say they agree with everything. No. I have friends that will tell me straight up, I can't get with that. They'll just tell me I don't agree. I'm like, they'll be like, Arit, I ain't with you on that. But they don't disappear. And they don't place me under a burden of guilt because I don't match up with an expectation they have. Those are the friends I will continue to hang with. Those are the ones that get the investment. Those are the ones that get the time. Those are the ones that get the more tangible support. Absolutely. I will invest in those ones. But the other ones that are just looking to control, dictate, govern, force me into an agenda that I've not agreed with. No. And for many of us, the first people who will subject us to this kind of behavior are family members. It's not outside friends, it's family, blood family, in-laws, family by blood, family by marriage, family by blood covenant, however you want to say it. Those are the ones that will test you. And unlike friends, you can't really throw away family. I mean, I know these generations are also okay. They'll say, no contact, no contact, no contact. I think I'm a little too old for no contact. I think I came before the no contact era. Yeah. So there's nobody right now that I'm no contact with. Nobody is nobody. I'm in contact with everybody. Yeah. So I support no contact. I think sometimes it's avoidance masquerading as no contact. Some people use no contact to practice avoidance. I think there are some situations that no contact makes sense, but there are few. There are few. I think in a majority of cases, people who are doing no contact is either because they are avoidant or they don't want to develop the capacity to remain in contact with somebody without betraying themselves. It takes time. It's something you have to work on. And a lot of people just don't have the capacity to work on it. So they go no contact. The danger with indiscriminate no contact is, number one, you don't develop as a person. Because whether you like it or not, your character development requires people. You cannot build character in isolation. You cannot. You cannot. This is life lesson now. This is not tech. This is life. You cannot properly build your character in isolation. You need to be in communication with people to build character. Now, if at every conflict or every disagreement or every moment that somebody does not make you feel comfortable, you do no contact, you will stagnate as a human being. You can take that to the bank. You will stagnate. You will not go anywhere in your character. You need people. Yeah. So that's the danger of no contact. It's artificial peace. It's not true peace. True peace is the ability to remain untriggered, even around people. But if every small thing, no contact, cut off, no contact, it feels peaceful, but it is artificial. It's not real. Okay? It's not a peace that is coming from within you. It's a peace that you're artificially manufacturing because you're cutting people off everywhere. Okay? So I'm not saying that if you want to do no contact, do it with your chest. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you the end result. You end up being severely isolated. Even if you're not isolated physically, you will be isolated mentally and emotionally. And it is not good for man to be alone. That scripture is not just talking about marriage, it's talking about human relationships. It's all encompassing. It is not good for man to be alone. Okay? So for all the Gen Zs in the house, no contact. That's you people, that's your people's power. It's no contact. No contact, no contact. It's okay. I'm not saying you should not do it. I'm just saying be careful. You cannot no contact your way through life. You can't. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. I don't have any questions. See, if people don't ask questions, I will end the space. Okay. If you know one thing about Queen Arit, I don't like to waste time. There are other things I can be doing, and there are other things you can be doing. So Mentor Corner is for you. So if you don't have anything to ask, David, I'm not taking requests. Put it in the chat. Or DM me, anyone. If you DM me, to be anonymous. Okay. So put your questions in the chat. It can be tech, it can be life. Okay, I have one from somebody. Okay, this is anonymous. Okay, so this person said, I'm a software development student. This is my first time joining your space. I'm really grateful for what you're doing. You're welcome. You are a student and you live with your uncle, so you school from home. Okay. You have been on 1 year IT and you'll be going back to school next month. Okay. But living in my uncle's place has been really rough. I try as much as possible to avoid problem with her. I guess you mean his wife. I try as much as possible to avoid problem with her, but she's problematic, always threatening to throw me out of the house, and it has been affecting me physically and emotionally. Okay. I'm stuck in my journey that sometimes I find it difficult to focus on my programming activities. I want to know if there's any advice you can give me to handle the situation. Okay. So, Emmanuel, you are very young. I sense you're very young and you are a student. Okay. So, as a student, you probably don't have money. That's okay. It's a temporary situation. Okay. But you probably don't have money. And what I mean by that is you don't have the means to liberate yourself, in a permanent way. That's okay. You see, when I was talking about toxicity in Nigerian culture, that's what I was referring to. Hey, Miss Pat, good to see you, my love. Thank you. Thank you, Aunt. Thank you for coming. So that's what I was referring to when I talk about the toxicity of Nigerian culture. You know, it's amazing how for some of us to feel any kind of significance in our life, we have to oppress somebody. It's a very African thing. I'm not saying other cultures don't have it, but I can speak for my own culture. We just have this behavior. It's like for some of us to feel some sort of significance, like some sort of recognition in the universe or some sort of power, you know, we don't feel that sense of like ownership and power in our life until we are oppressing somebody and making somebody to feel like, everything you have is by my grace, is by my favor, is by my power, is by my, like, God. So I'm just saying that to say that's a really shitty situation. Emmanuel, like, that's a shitty situation. It really is. Like, I don't want to sugarcoat it and start making excuses. No, like, at the end of the day, you did not ask to be born. That's the truth. Like, you didn't ask to be here. So that's really sad that you are a student. Nobody say they run the streets. Hey, to say you they run street, to say they do yahoo yahoo up and down, you know. But you are a student and you are getting the education that will form the foundation for your career and the rest of your life. It's just, I'm just letting you know that that's really messed up. Okay, it's really messed up that you have to be subjected to that. Okay, but you're asking for advice. I'm not sure what level you are in school. I'm not sure how close you are to being done. You said you are software development. I think the best thing you can do for yourself now, I'll give you two pieces of advice, okay? The first advice is you need to be in community and you need to be building connection in community. Okay, you need to be building connection in community. Um, this particular advice is not one that I will implement immediately, but it's an option. Is there a way through your community that you can arrange a different living situation? You didn't mention your parents in your question. Okay, you didn't mention your parents in your question. I don't know what their role is. I don't know whether you are living with your uncle because his place is closer to your school. I don't know what the logistics is. Okay, but there could be a possibility, because what I don't know is whether your parents will give you permission or they will allow you to set up a living elsewhere. Hey, that's what I'm not sure. You might be at your uncle's because that is the person your parents trust to house you. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, because you're still a student. So in many ways, you're still beholden to your parents, your guardians, those who are funding your education, yes. So it's like being in between a rock and a hard place. Yeah. So that's the first thing I will consider. I will also really try to focus. I know you said it's hard to focus, but you need to. Let me tell you something. Part of being an adult is focusing when shit is hitting the fan. Is part of being an adult. Is it pleasant? No. Is it pleasurable? No. Is it fun? No. Is it necessary? Yes. It's part of growing up. You have to develop tunnel vision. I don't know if you see horses, race horses. There are these flaps that they put on their eye like this. I don't know if you've ever seen them. Horses that race, you see these two flaps. Those flaps is to prevent, because without those flaps, the horse can see everything on his side here and everything on his side here. And horses are very easily scared, very easily frightened. So when they are racing, they put those flaps so that they're not able, the only place they can see is in front. You have to do that for yourself spiritually as an adult, as somebody who's becoming you have to learn how to put your spiritual eye flaps on. Okay, and everything could be going to hell around you, but you are still focused on your goal. The reason I say that is because if you focus in, join community, link up with other freelancers, link up with other people who are monetizing their software development skills right now, and begin to raise some money for yourself. Begin to raise some money for yourself. Yes. Yeah. Raise money for yourself. And then finally, I would say is temporary. If you let it get to you and you allow it to get to you to the point that you now begin to suffer, or your progress through school suffer, you're prolonging the suffering. So look at it like, will you be in school for 20 years? No, now, no, right? School is a finite time. Yeah. So the hope is eventually you finish school and you'll be able to get some more independence. It's temporary. I know in the moment it feels like, this is the only thing I'm ever going to experience. Yeah, that's how it feels like. But the truth is it's temporary and you'll come out on the other side. Yeah. I hope the oppression is not physical. If it is physical, that's another layer. Okay. I'm not saying verbal is not painful. Verbal is painful, but physical is a whole other thing, So I hope it's not physical. But my dear, Unfortunately, this is where you find yourself. It really sucks. It does. I'm not minimizing that. This is where you find yourself. And because you're a student, you don't have the financial capability to get better for yourself yet, but you will get there. You will get there. So put on your blinders, okay? Put on your eye flaps, your blinders, put them on, okay? And stay focused, all right? Stay connected to community. If you're not in the Queenary Circle, join Queenary Circle. You can come and vent. You go on the general group, you can vent as many times. People will be there, will listen to you, will validate you, will comfort you, will tell you, do, will tell you sorry. That is, sometimes you just need to sound off with people who are just going to commiserate with you. Emotionally, that can help. But at the end of the day, you have to go. The only way out is through. Okay. So you're going through a valley right now. You have to go through it. Yea, do I walk through the valley? You have to go through it. That's the only way out. You can't, you can't lie down and die. No. Okay. So you have to go through it. All right. Yes. So I wish you the best. Okay, my love. I wish you the best. I know it's not easy. I'm not minimizing the pain. I'm not. Okay. I know it's not easy. But you have to go through it. Okay. And eventually it will be a story that's behind you. Eventually you have your degree, you have your career, you have your money, you're making your money, you're making more money, you'll be able to have your place, or at least you'll be able to move in with pleasant roommates, or just better living situation, and you continue stacking your money, and eventually you get your own place, and then you buy your own house, and then if you want to japa, you japa, and then 20 years from now you'll be on Twitter space encouraging the next generation and remembering your own story, and maybe you even be able to laugh. You'll be able to laugh by that time. Okay. So it's temporary. It's temporary. So just stay focused and stay connected in community. This too shall pass. Yeah. Okay. I have another question here. The person saying, "Good evening, Queen Arit. Can you please talk about how to scale office politics? Office politics, you don't misroad. Oh. My guy, you have misroad. Me, the way you have heard me talking so far in the mentor corner, you think I'm the right person to ask about office politics? No, no, no. You don't go to an apple tree asking for oranges. Can you please talk about how to scale office politics to one advantage in a corporate organization? Okay. I will tell you what I know. This may not be the answer you are looking for, but I'll tell you what I know. You need to toot your horn. You need to toot your horn. Toot your horn. In a corporate environment, your work does not speak for itself. That's a lie. You have to speak for your work. Okay. So you have to toot your horn, but you have to do it in a tasteful way. You cannot do it in a way that make you look pompous. This is corporate, Abi. So you have to toot your horn, but you have to toot your horn in a humble way. Okay. So you have to figure out what that looks like. Okay. Secondly, FaceTime. FaceTime. If you are doing Zoom, put your camera. Hey, other people's camera is off. Put your camera. There's a way putting your camera on in a Zoom call automatically make you look more responsible. Don't ask me how. I just know it to be true. So one of the quickest ways to position yourself as a visible person is to always be camera on. Always. Whether it is one-on-one with your boss, whether it's group meeting, whether it's all hands, whatever is the meeting, if it is Zoom, put your camera on. Look good. Look good. If you are a guy, have a nice shirt. Try to make sure your background does not look too ghetto. If you are a lady, put on some lip gloss. Put on some blush. Yes. Queen Arit, I thought you are a feminist. I'm not a feminist. I'm not anything East. I am a realist. I am an authenticist. I am an authenticist. Okay. Don't put any label on me. I just tell the truth. I'm a truthist. So if you are a lady, if you are a guy, comb your hair, put little powder on your face. Don't have shiny Vaseline face. You know, if it will help you, even though you are on a meeting in Zoom, put perfume. If you are smelling nice to yourself, it will change your demeanor. Yes, we're talking about office policy. I'm giving you the truth. If you are a lady, put on some lip. I didn't say go and pancake your face. You're not going to Owambe wedding. No. Too much is too much. Hey, put a little lip gloss, put a little blush, some nice color, put a little mascara, and make sure your hair is neat. Camera on all the time. It sends a subliminal message that you are serious. It makes people to associate your face with certain things. It's very subconscious, but it works. Okay. Thirdly, I would say every now and again, take interest in, depending, whatever is your job function. See, it goes without saying, do your job well. Oh. Don't be implementing all these things I'm saying and then you are doing a half-assed job. No, you do your job well. Okay. But in addition, okay, try to show some interest in the bottom line. So let me give a concrete example. Let's say you're an engineer and your main function is to code, is to build different features and release them, deploy them, make sure they are stable, all of that. Okay. In addition, show some interest in the bottom line. Show some interest in how is this performing? What are our KPIs looking like? What are our OKRs looking? Ask question. If you are in an all hands, for example, even though you know your job is engineer, in the all hands, raise your hand. Ask question about the business side. Show that you care about the money being made, the profit, how profitable is the company, what is the health of the company bottom line. It helps. Hey, aren't you an engineer? You say, yes, but I actually care about this. Yes, my function is engineer, but I actually care about this. Even if you don't get an answer, the point is not an answer. What will you use the answer to do? Nothing. The point is not the answer. The point is asking the question. Subconsciously, it does something. It sets you apart from everybody who is just showing to make a paycheck and go home. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Making a paycheck to go home is valid and is good. But if you want to play office politics well, you must show consistent interest in the bottom line. Some people will say you should go above and beyond. Going above and beyond can help, but I always recommend if you're going to go above and beyond, drop your performance first. And then, so let me give an example. So let's say, because going above and beyond can burn you out. Okay, so I'm going to give you a practical way to do it. And it is for a short period of time. It's not for the rest of So maybe there's like somebody you are targeting, or you're targeting a promotion, or you're targeting some benefit, or you just want to sort of paint yourself as, very productive. Okay. The way you do it, let's say your normal output is 65. Okay. Let's just say that normal output 65. Above and beyond from 65 will be 80. It might be difficult to sustain 80. So what you do is slowly, gradually, and with sense, you drop your output to 57 or 55. Then you bump it to 75 or 72. Okay, that's how you do it. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to burn out. At the end of the day, you don't want to move in a way that, yes, the company benefits, but now you are suffering. Because that suffering will now begin to impact your work. Okay, so you have to be smart about it. Okay, human beings will only be impressed in the beginning. You do something out of the way, you do something above level, you do something far and beyond, they will be impressed in the beginning. 3 months down the line, that is your new normal. It's a human thing. It's a human thing. It's you are like that, I am like that. 3 months down the line, that thing that you pushed so hard to get to and to operate at, it's now your new normal. That is the level that they will now judge you for the rest of. So you got to be careful. Okay, you got to be careful. But that's about all I can say about office politics in a corporate setting. Like corporate is like a dance, it's like a movie. Try not to take things personal. If you're working in corporate, you have to have a thick skin. You cannot take things personal. And then when you're working in corporate, please always be networking, always be connecting, because you can be the darling of corporates today and out on your ass tomorrow. I've seen it happen countless times. You can be the chosen one today and you are the rejected one tomorrow. Okay. So never get so comfortable in any corporate environment that you cease to continue your soft networking, keeping your connections warm. They don't have to be hot, 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 but you keep them warm. Make sure you're still checking in with people, other orgs, other industries, just keep things warm. Because corporates can go from love to hate very quickly. And it's not personal. The bottom line has said they have to do it. The books that they've cooked has said that's what they have to do. So once the books have said it, they will do it. Okay? So don't take it personal. The mistake is to take it personal. After all I did for them, after all, I came back early from my honeymoon. I did this, I did that. Oh, I was sick. I was in the hospital. I still showed up. They don't give a shit. And it's not because they hate you, it's because the bottom line is king. you know, Especially in corporate, the bottom line. Okay, so it's not personal. When you take it personal, that's a mistake. The biggest mistake you can make in corporate is to take something personal. No, that's 101. You don't do that. Okay, it's just business. You see how they say in the mafia movies, it ain't personal, it's just business. Yes, it's true. In corporate, it's just business. Okay, yeah. ID Ian says, how do you balance everything you do without feeling like you're doing too much or feeling overwhelmed? I think the way I look at that question is, what is your objective? Because sometimes the price of what you want is feeling overwhelmed. I think we have this idea that feeling overwhelmed is always a negative thing. It's not. it's not. It's not always a negative thing, feeling overwhelmed. So, what I will really look at is, what is your objective? And depending on your objective, the opportunity to get there, the open doors that you're managing to get there, the season that you are feeling like it's a little too much for an acute period of time might be the price you pay, right? It might be the price you pay. I've had seasons where I know I'm going to be stressed and I walk into it knowing that. But because I have an objective and it's a finite period of time, and I know I will come out on the other side and be able to scale back and relax, I just accept that stress and that pressure as part of the price I'm paying for what I say I want. Okay. So the real question is, do you have clarity? Do you have clarity on what your goals are, what your objectives are? Do you have clarity on how the market forces you're operating in are either helping you or hindering you? You need to answer all those questions to now answer the question, is the stress worth it? Is the feeling of overwhelm worth it? Is this a temporary price I'm paying to get to where I'm going? And then when I get to where I'm going, maybe now I have an opportunity to fall back and relax. Okay. So that's the real question, I think. So, and you're the only one that can answer that. I think now, assuming this isn't like a specific season that might require some overwhelm or stress, I think the next question to ask is, and I said this, I think, in King Robert's space, The price of excellence in some areas is mediocrity in other areas. Okay, nobody can be excellent in everything. So sometimes the struggle that you are having is you're trying to have a sort of high level, like a super high level in so many areas. You haven't prioritized the areas of your life where excellence is necessary. Okay. So once you prioritize those areas where excellence is necessary, then you can now choose. You have to choose to be mediocre. Sometimes mediocrity is inevitable. You just neglected something, and as a result it fell apart. Hey. But what I have found in my personal life is I can choose what to be mediocre at. I can choose not what not to do. I can choose what not to prioritize. And so when you choose what to be excellent in, you also have to choose what to be mediocre in and give yourself full permission to be mediocre in that thing. And then that gives you the freedom to now focus on where you want to be excellent. And then you're not overwhelmed. But the problem is when you think a truly successful life means every facet of that life is excellent. No, it's a recipe for burnout. And then the sad thing is, even the areas that you could make excellent end up being mediocre because you're burnt out, because you're tired, because you're exhausted. you know? Yeah. So you have to pick your mosaic. You have to pick what it's going to look like. This is going to suck. Let it. I'm not going to be good here. I'm going to be really good here. I'm going to make an investment here. I'm going to be really good here. Over here, I'm not going to prioritize that. And you have to give yourself permission to do that. And then be ready for judgment. Some people will judge you. They'll say, I really think this should be important. Well, you've decided that it's not important. Hey, but in our family, but you've decided it's not true for you. Hey, but I really think you're making, like, you're going to get it. Make your peace with it. You're going to get it. You're going to get the feedback from your village, from your community, from your family. You're going to get it. I used to be so good in this thing. How come you're not doing it again? I chose to deprioritize. How can you deprioritize this? But you've been so good at it. Thank you, ma. Thank you, sir. Okay, I have some questions in the chat, so let me go and answer. Okay, you are great. You are welcome, Emmanuel. Okay, David. David say, good evening, Mama. He said, what about in friendship? I tend to avoid fake friends when I experience betrayal. What's the question? You didn't actually put the question. So what are you asking for real? Like, are you asking? Because I was answering a question about, I don't know, because you asked your question, I was answering another person's question. So let me know what is your actual question. So you're talking about you avoid fake friends. Okay. Oh, okay. You mean in terms of the no contact? Is that what you mean? Oh, I'm just trying to think. Maybe you mean in terms of the no contact. Okay, you tend to avoid fake friends when you experience betrayal. So let me help you with something, because I think, and this is true for young people. I think when I was younger, I was this way as well. I had a very rigid way of viewing friendship, and I had a very rigid way of viewing what I thought was good friendship. Okay, so this is how I used to think. I used to think that if, let's say I have a friendship, like let's say I have three friends, we're a friend group. Okay. I have three friends. And the four of us together, we hang out, we talk, we gist, we do things together, we take trips, whatever, right? We're a friend group. And we share different things. But a lot of times in friendship groups, you might end up being a little bit closer to certain people in the group than others, or you might have a different, you may not necessarily be closer, but you relate differently. Like maybe with one person, you're more kiki, jokey. With another person, you feel you can have deeper conversations. That's fine, okay? Friendship groups do not need to be homogenous in expression. They don't, okay? We are all individual people, okay? So let's say there's a girl in my friendship group that I just feel understands me better. And there's something that I want to share with her, and I don't want the other members of the friendship group to know. So when I tell her what I want to tell her, I say it in a way that I'm thinking she should know that this is only for you, but I'm not explicit with it. Okay. That's the example. I'm not explicitly telling her, please don't share with the other girls. I just want you to know this. But I don't say it like that. Let's say she now goes and tells the other girls. Not that she ran to tell them, but maybe there's just another hangout session, another kiki, and she mentions it. When I was younger, I would take that as betrayal. I would say, she betrayed me. I think now that I'm older, I think I see it as, if I, first of all, if I did not specifically forbid something, then I didn't really empower you with what you needed to know in order to know how to behave. So that's on me. Okay, that's on me. And then on a deeper level, I no longer derive a sense of identity from how many secrets somebody knows about me. I'm giving a specific example because he talked about friendships. That's why I'm giving a friendship example. I no longer derive a sense of identity from, oh, this friend is my best friend because she knows 21 secrets about me. This one is my okay friend because she knows only 2. Like, I don't have those hierarchies in my brain anymore. So I am much more confident in my ability to curate and manage my life. So it no longer hurts me the way it used to hurt me when information about me gets out. Mhm. So why am I going so deep in this example? Because David used the word betrayal. I think that that word is very subjective. There are things that you would do to me 20 years ago that I would call betrayal, that today I'll just laugh. Literally, I'll just be like, that's funny. Same thing, same action, same behavior, same, but I'm a different person. Yes. And I've grown in my capacity to feel confident. I'm confident about my sovereignty in a way that I wasn't when I was younger, right? I'm confident in my ability to stand on my own. I welcome support. I welcome the reinforcement of my friends, but I don't crave it. I'm not so dependent on it. Yes. So I now see it as the most I have to, endure is maybe a little bit of embarrassment, right? Or a little bit of maybe having to provide because the way this friend now heard about it, she does not have the whole context. So now I have to, and that's my choice. I can choose to give her that context or not. I've reached a place where the prospect of something getting out or, yeah. So, because he said, I tend to avoid fake friends when I experience betrayal. What that sentence says is the betrayal happened, so now you've labeled them fake. I was like that in my 20s. Yes, I was like that. I was very quick to, oh, I call this a thing, and because of that, you have this label, I'm done with you. Yes. I think now, first of all, I'm less sensitive to these ideas, so I guess the question is, what do you call betrayal? What is betrayal? Is it that did they steal your girlfriend? Did they, go behind your back to like tell your parents lies about you? Like, what are you calling betrayal? And then what is it about the betrayal that now makes you to label somebody fake? So maybe if you ask another question or you ask a more detailed question, then I can better answer. Yeah. But I think in many ways, the gravity with which we take things in our relationships begins to change as we mature. Yes. There was a pastor that said one time, and I'll never forget it. This pastor said that he was advising couples, it was a relationship thing, so he was advising couples, and he said something funny. He said that he's an advocate for new couples not sharing everything about their past. He said that. He said, not that you are hiding a behavior that you want to continue doing and it will hurt. No, he's not advocating for deliberately deceiving somebody because you want to keep behaving. No, he's talking about things that you are done with. Hey, you did it, it happened, you are done with it, you're no longer living that way. It's just a figment of your past. He gave an advice. He said he does not encourage young couples, new couples, year 1, year 3, year 5. He does not encourage them to share everything the way he used to be crazy in university. The way he said, don't do it. He said, because there are some things that you will share in the first 3 years of your relationship. If you share that same thing 30 years in, you will laugh. You will laugh. You will giggle. If you share it 20 years in, you will giggle. But if you share it in the first 2 years, they will say, never, no. They'll begin to label you. They'll begin to suspect, yeah. So he gave that advice. He said, it's not everything. He said, keep some stories for when you are deep. He said, keep some of those playful stories for when you are 15, 20, 25 years in. He said, by the time you share it then, they will just, they'll be like, you were stupid though. You were so daft. He said, but if you share it in that first year, they can break up with you. Maturity helps. Maturity helps. Perspective helps, and you gain a lot of perspective. May you live, may you age. Aging is a privilege. Okay. Aging is a privilege. May you age to the point that things that would have sent you on a tailspin is now just a drop of rain on your shoulder. And you just flick it off. Okay. And that's not to justify abuse. That's not to normalize abuse. That's not to normalize toxicity. What I'm just talking about is there is a capacity that you develop as you get older, as you have more life experience. You actually develop capacity to carry things and to sort of let things be exactly what they are without becoming discombobulated. Okay. That is a privilege of the aged, or those of us, like I'm 45, right? So that's a privilege that I'm now in, because I have some perspective. But when I was 22, I was a hot cookie. I was so easily ticked off. I just feel like it's a young people. Young people, everything's a problem. Yeah. So you can ask a follow-up question. Hopefully that was helpful to somebody. You guys on YouTube, no questions from you. Okay, I will continue focusing on Twitter. But if you're on YouTube and you have a question, please ask in the chat. Yeah? Ask a question in the chat and I will answer you. Let me check my DMs. We're coming to the end. Ooh, 90 minutes in. I'm going to end this soon. But these are good questions. Thank you. Thank you. Good questions. Good questions. Okay, I'm checking. Okay, I don't have any DMs. All right, that's fine. Let me check the chat to see if we have anything new. But these were good questions. Thank you. Ego, hey love. Ego decided to join us today. They see your backlight, so we don't say money. Anytime we don't see person backlight, just don't say money they enter. They are busy stacking their stacks. Good to see you there. Oh, Judy, thank you for coming. Welcome. Mr. V, good to see you. Okay, Larry Perry, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Okay. All right. I'm not seeing any other questions, so I can go ahead and end it here. Going, gone. We are 90 minutes in. I feel like that's a good mentor corner, is it not? I think that's a good mentor corner. Any additional questions? These were good questions. Thank you. A good balance of career and life. So that's good. Let me just make sure I haven't missed anybody. Okay, I haven't missed anyone. Yes. People are laughing. Don't laugh at me. You know me, I don't know how to lie. I'll tell you the truth. You might not like to hear it, but it is what it is. Okay, let me check requests. Okay, there's nothing in requests. Okay. All right, people. It looks like I've covered everything. All right. So thank you for coming to Mentor Corner. My community, the Queen Arit Circle, we are a tech community, or we are a community of techies. We have, software developers, designers, We have UI UX, we have data, we have cyber, we have virtual assistants, VA, EA, and our focus is to help people go from learning to earning. Yeah. So in our community, we don't focus too much on, oh, take this course, oh, take this class, oh, come and train here. We focus more on, okay, how can we move you from, okay, I have a portfolio, how can I land a client? I have a client, how can I land the second one? How can I get repeat business? How can I better position myself? How can I perform better in interviews? How can I increase my visibility, right? So those are the things that we work on. So you've already gained some skills. You continue, skill acquisition is a lifelong thing, but you already have some good skills. How can you turn those skills into money? That's what we focus on in the Queen Arit Circle. So if you would like to join the community, just click on the handle in the title of this space and go to the link in that bio and apply to join, and you will be in the community. Okay, we're mostly on WhatsApp. We also have newsletters, and then we have this mentor corner once a month. So if you would like to join the community and make connections and grow your network, people are getting jobs in our community. People are being recommended. People are, that is, the people are being referred, and people are landing jobs. We have people that have landed job. They've been looking for job for 4 years, and this year they are working full time in tech. Absolutely. We have someone, I don't want to say their name. If I say their name, you will go and disturb them. I don't want to say their name. There's somebody in the community recently, he times 5 his salary. The salary that he was earning before in the job he was doing, right now is working times 5. Yes. So our community is moving forward. We have people who have started businesses in our community. We have founders in our community. We have people who have founded organizations. We have authors in our community. We have people who have written books and are selling them. Yes. We have communities that have been born out of our community. So we have communities that started with people that were in Queen Arit Circle, and now they have their communities and they're also doing great things. Yeah. So, but it's a process. You see, that person I said that it times 5 his salary, that came after many years of seemingly no results. Okay. But in the Queen Arit Circle, they kept busy. They were very active in the circle. They kept networking. They never gave up. And in the fullness of time, they beat out so many other applicants for this job. So many other applicants. They beat them out. And now they are making times 5 what they were making in their previous position. Okay. So I believe the community is very fruitful. Yeah. So please feel free to join and you begin to introduce yourself, begin to network, and begin to avail yourself of all the opportunities that are available. Nobody can build your career for you. Okay. Nobody can build it for you. Nobody can tell you exactly how it's going to go. Nobody can guarantee you anything. But what we can do as a community is we can support you. We can help to neutralize feelings of loneliness, isolation. We can test you. One of the benefits of community is you get to measure yourself against people with your similar background so that you can know for real, what is my standing? Yes. Because when you're in isolation, you can convince yourself that, I'm a kick-ass designer. Then you get into the community and begin to see what people like Ego is doing. And then you realize, I still have a way to go. That's the benefit of community. Community allows you to know what the real standard out there is. Yes. So you have 2 choices. You can either become bitter about it and go back into your little cave, or you can accept what the data is telling you and rise to the occasion. Okay. So that's one of the biggest benefits of community is it helps you to calibrate yourself so that you are not trying to build your career based on delulu. It's very easy to be delulu in isolation. So you come and you get around other people, then your delulu evaporates, and then you begin moving forward based on reality. And then you can now begin to see the sort of benefits, the sort of traction and the sort of success that you were not seeing before when you're just doing it all by yourself. Okay. So I'm saying all that to say, please join the Queen Arit Circle. You're very welcome. And I will see you all in the next. Let me just do a last check, just to make sure I didn't miss anybody. But I will see you all in the next Mentor Corner. Mentor Corner is once a month. I just told you how to join, Samuel. Go to the link in my bio. Okay, David said, Samuel said, I'm new here. I was missed. We missed you too. Okay, David said betrayal in the sense they talk behind my back and you figure it one way. That's what I was expecting. Yeah, that's why I gave the example. See, when you say they talk behind your back, let me tell you something. Can I help you with something? You ready? Everybody gossips. Okay, everybody. Everybody gossips. Okay. I think it's the degree of gossip that makes a difference. That's how I've come to understand it. Everybody gossips. Everybody gist. Everybody talk. I can call my mother now, and before you know it, we have covered the whole family. I can call my sister now. In fact, my sisters call each other and talk about me. Okay. So I've come to understand that the issue is not whether people are talking. See, people are talking. I've made my peace. People are talking about me everywhere. You talk about people behind their back too. Okay. So we all do it. Okay. We all do it. It's a human phenomenon. Okay. This is how I've come to think about it. Yeah. I think there's a difference between somebody talking about you behind your back and plotting against you. There's a difference. Okay. I think there's a difference between somebody just talking about you behind your back and then sabotaging you actively. That's a difference. Yes. So I'm looking at, okay, what is the content? There's a difference between somebody talking about you and somebody deliberately poisoning somebody's understanding of you. And it's false. There's a difference. So in terms of the talking about me behind my back, everybody does it, and I do it too. Okay. So I've stopped making that a problem. I've stopped making that like a bad thing. Okay. There's a difference between, girl, I was at the store the other day and I saw this person there, and I haven't seen her in a while. Girl, it looked like she gained weight. She looked big. That's somebody talking about you. Okay. That's somebody talking about you behind your back. Okay. There's a difference. So there's that. And then there's, girl, I saw so and so at the store the other day. And like she looks so big. But I feel like the reason why she's that big is because she's on drugs. Okay. That person does not have any evidence. That person does not have any. They just came up with a random reason. And it's a reason that society wise it's sort of like a character assassination, right? So that's the problem. I think like she's on drugs. 10 years ago, she had mentioned something about cocaine. What did she mention about cocaine? I don't really remember, but I know she said the word cocaine. And now I feel like now that she's so big, it's because she's on drugs. That's like a level of gossip that, okay, that's a problem. Yes. So, but just the base, even if they talk about, girl, she's so big, she looked like an elephant. Even that, I don't feel like is. If someone says you look like an elephant, it's just a comparison. They're not actually saying you turned into an actual elephant. They didn't say she turns into an elephant at night and she goes, that's not what they said. They said you are so big, you look like an elephant. Even that to me is like, it's kiki, you know. So I've come to judge the content of the gossip. It's not so much like, oh, they said something about you and you were not there. Everybody does that. I do that with my siblings. I do that with my cousins. I can call one cousin and talk about this other cousin. I do it all the time. And then that cousin will call that cousin and say, see what Arit said. And then that cousin will call and say, Arit, I heard. I say, yes, actually I did. It's to the point that I expect it from every human being. It doesn't shock me anymore. Okay. It's more the content. It's more the spirit of it. Is there a deliberate attempt to sabotage or to assassinate your character or to poison people? That's when it becomes diabolical. When I want to change. Up until this point, you've just looked at that person like a regular person. I want to make you look at them like a wicked person, and I'm going to fabricate things to get your mind there about that. That's when it's sinister. That's when it's diabolical. Yes, that's what I judge. But just somebody talking about it, everybody does it. David, they'll talk about it till the day you die. And then after you die, they'll still talk about you until they're tired and they've forgotten about you and something else has come along to take their attention. People will always talk about you. Okay, so that was the objective. Yeah. Okay. So those people now, you don't relate with them anymore. If their objective was to assassinate your character or to cause people to hate you or to cause people to change their behavior towards you just because they don't want you to be with those people or to be connected to those people, that's diabolical. Those are people you cut off. Okay. Now the question then becomes, okay, do you also cut off the people who were listening to what they were saying? That's your choice. I feel like if somebody didn't defend me, or if that person didn't come back immediately and tell me, there's a way that the listener will behave that you can say, oh, okay, they're not with the bullshit. Yeah. But sometimes both the person who is doing the diabolical work and the listener of they are both. So you just have to judge that. Yeah. But in that kind of situation, yes, it makes sense to I wouldn't say cut them off. I would just say, there are just some people you just don't tell your business. Let me give an example. There was an event I attended recently, and we were a mixed group. Okay. So I was really good friends with some people in the event, and those people were really good friends with other people in the event, but we're all together. We're like a group of 10, right? So we're all together. And my very good friends were just a couple of the girls, but then the other girls were very good friends. So you know how it's like a spider web, it's like a crisscross, right? Yes. And so we started talking about a particular topic. And I'm a naturally transparent person anyway. So it wasn't no problem for me to share my own experience concerning that topic. One of my really good friends who was there, I noticed she was silent. I noticed she wasn't talking. Now she's like me, she's transparent like me as well. And she tells me everything, right? Yes. But I noticed that she was markedly quiet. It wasn't natural, right? And so I just noted that. And what I did as her friend was, because I'm her friend, right? The other ladies in the group don't really know her like that, but I'm her friend. So when I noticed how quiet she was, and that wasn't like a typical thing for her, I took it upon myself whenever it looked like the conversation was steering toward her in a way that would make her pressured to say something she probably didn't want to say, I would redirect the conversation. Mhm. So I would redirect. I would say something to take that attention away from her, the spotlight. Yes. Because even though I didn't know why she wasn't talking, I knew she wasn't talking and there must have been a reason. Okay. When the event concluded and I was able to debrief with her, because I even left home early. So I left for home early. So we didn't leave at the same time. So we didn't debrief that whole thing until the next day. Okay. When the next day came and we debriefed, you know what she told me? She told me that one of the girls, I don't know this girl, but my friend said, Arit, one of those girls is best friends with somebody that wasn't in the group, but I know she's best friends with that person. Anything I may have shared in that group, she's going to go and tell that outside person. And I don't want that outside person to know anything about me. You see that? Yeah. So I'm giving that example to say you can choose not to be transparent or intimate in terms of information shared with people. It doesn't mean you cut them off. So in that situation, my friend didn't leave the group. She could have chosen, I'm not even going to sit here and be in danger of feeling like I have to share something I don't. No, she didn't do that. She stayed in the group. She went quiet. She wasn't her usual talkative self, but she had me. I picked up on it. And so whenever the spotlight was heading toward her, I would always bring it back. I would put it back on me, or I would put it on somebody else, and I would always take it away from her. So she thanked me the next day. She said, Arit, I know what you were doing. And she was like, thank you very much. But I want you to know why I went mute. Yes. And so this is part of adulting. Remember, I said earlier, this thing of like, I'm going to cut off, I'm going to cut off, I'm going to avoid, I'm going to avoid. You are doing yourself a disservice. Character is developed and refined in the presence of other human beings. Now, I'm not saying be abused. I'm not saying subject yourself to large levels of toxicity. No. But the regular irritations and, those things that come along with human interaction is necessary to become a fully matured and developed person. So this thing of avoidance, no contact, cut off, indiscriminately, no, it's not going to help you. It's not going to help you. No contact should be used very sparingly, and it should be used in situations of real, actual abuse or just high levels of toxicity. Yes. Yeah. So that would be my advice, David, is, just this, understand how they are connected, and then just decide in your mind that, when it comes to this person and or their connections, I'm no longer going to be transparent with them. And it's very possible to keep things on a kiki. I always say you can kiki, you can kiki. You can talk about TV shows, you can talk about politics, talk about sports. There are so many things that you can use to maintain a connection with somebody without being personal, without being vulnerable or transparent. Vulnerability and transparency belongs to people who have proven that they can carry you well and they can hold space for you with respect and honor. That's who you are vulnerable and transparent with. Yeah. And it should be the same for you. You should never expect to be confided in or to be opened up to until you've earned it. So you have to take what you give, right? It's only fair, yes. But that doesn't mean that, some people have this, you have to learn. Part of being an adult is learning how to have concentric circle friendships. What I mean by that is you are the sun. Some people will be Mercury and Venus. Some people will be Jupiter and Saturn. And some people will be Pluto. But they're all in your village. They're all in your world. They are all in your life, but they're just at different levels. It's part of being an adult, but there are some people, they're like, oh, everybody has to feel like a bestie. No, it's not healthy. It's not even healthy. You shouldn't move as though everybody that you are in constant communication with. I have some friends, I don't talk to them but 2-3 times a year. But when we talk, it's open book. It's open book. Frequency of communication does not necessarily translate to vulnerability and openness, I have certain friends in my life because they are long distance, they live like 5 hours from me or whatever. I don't get to see them very often. And I don't even get to talk to them very often. But when we talk, it's open book. It's like, girlfriend, catch me up, Oh, girlfriend, what happened, And then I have some friends that like, I may see them every single week, but it's kiki. Like, girl, where'd you get those shoes? Girl, did you see that movie? It's kiki, but I see him every week. Yeah. So that's part of being an adult, honestly, is navigating relationships, not forcing them into one expression only or no contact. No, those extremes are not mature. They are immature and they are juvenile. And that's how you move in secondary school and high school. That's the time for that. But when you become an adult, you have to upgrade how you do your relationships. You have to. Okay. So that you can have a healthy enough village that is mixed with, there's some people that I may not sit and share my whole life with them. But when it comes to, oh, they need me to watch their kids, drop your kids, I got them. Arit, I need to go somewhere. I don't want to work with these children. That's fine. I'm working at home. Drop them. I've done it so many times. And they drop their kids. Have they eaten? No, don't worry. I got them. Go do what you need to do. When are you coming back? 3 hours? That's okay. I'll feed them and I'll watch their kids. But I probably wouldn't sit down with the lady and be like, this is what is happening with me. No. I know the level of our friendship, and it's to the point she trusts me with her children. But just because she trusts me with her children doesn't now mean she has earned the right for me to be vulnerable with her. That's a different level. So being able to watch your kids and you go off and do what you need to do, and you don't have to worry about your kids because you trust me with your children, that's very different from, I can confide in you about my life. Now, I have some friends that I can confide in them about my life, but I would never leave my kids with them. It's not because I just know they don't do well with children. So I know who to go to for what. And there's people in my life, they know what to come to me about and what not to come to me about. Nobody comes to me about bullshit because they know I will call them out. So I've had some friends in the past that will say, I don't want Arit to know this, not because I'm keeping it a secret from her, but because she's going to piss me off with her advice. Yes, they've said that about me. So I've had friends tell other people, don't tell Arit this. I'll tell her in my own time. I don't want her to know right now because I know if she knows right now, she will come for me and she'll call me daft and dumb and stupid. And I'm not in a position to hear that. But we all know that's who Arit is. So I've had friends that have said that about me, and I don't get offended. I'm actually quite pleased that they know what to expect from me. And they've decided when they want to include me and when they don't want to include me. And I give them that right. I'm not going to say, if you are my true friend, you will trust me with everything. No, I don't have that requirement. I don't need you to prove your friendship to me by showing me that you will tell me everything. No. It's your right to decide how you want me to participate in your life. It's called being an adult. Okay, and many of you are still very childish. Even at your big age of 25, 27, 33, you're still very childish in the way you approach people or in the way people are, Yeah, so you got to grow up. You got to grow up and realize that people are multifaceted. I have a friend, she's having a birthday soon. I call her my frenemy because she's a little bit of a bitch. But I've decided to love her bitch ass. So she knows and I know. And, I know she's a bitch. Just a little bit, she just, it's just who she is, But I love her bitch ass, So like, so I've just, it's like playing with it. It's playing with a tarantula, playing with a snake. Like, if you decide to play with a snake, you have to understand that snake's nature. So you like, I've been friends with her for years. I've been friends with her for like over 20 years, but she's a bitch. But I like her. I like her like that. So, she's the kind of friend that like, she'll like your dress, she'll never tell you. You come in with a nice dress, and once she sees it on you, she likes it. She will not say, "Oh, Ari, that dress looks so good on you." She'll say something like, "It's good you lost weight. It wouldn't look as nice if you were fatter." Yeah, that's how she's a bitch. That's just who she is. She cannot just give you a compliment. She cannot just say, that looks so good. I like the way you're wearing. She has to find like an underhand way to, yeah. And so when she says that, I'll be like, thank you, girlfriend. That's how she is, She was like, thank God you lost weight. If you were still fat, that dress will not look nice. That's her way of giving a compliment. That's just who she is. I have another friend, like she has to let you know how much she spent. We call her the law. She's like that. I don't try to change her. She has to let you. If we travel somewhere, she will find a way to reveal that she flew first class. So, whenever she starts like that, I'll just be like, my dear, you are my aspiration. That's what I tell her. I'll say, babe, you're my aspiration. Even in the afterlife, you will still be my. And then she will laugh and say, Arit, no, nah, you two, you're doing well. Because me, I flew coach. So when she drops it in conversation that she flew first class, I'll say, babe, you are my aspiration, no. You are the standard I aspire to. She will say, no, Harry, stop that, Joe. She'll say, you two, you are doing good. You're just hiding it. She's like that. So if you now start saying, she's so proud, she's so pompous, she's so okay, and then, okay, after that, now what? But she's a good time. We get to the club, she'll buy bottles. She has it like that. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm not going to, miss out on my opportunity to drink an alcohol that I probably couldn't afford by myself. Like, I'm not going to. So I've taken her like that. I've taken her like that. I'm never offended. I'm never offended. I've just taken her like that. I play into her, her little, I just play into it. And then we go with pop bottles. I drink what I couldn't afford. I enjoy it. I come home, I sleep. Shikena, wala no day. So there's a way to do friendship. I'm telling you, I don't know if it's my age, I don't know, but there's a way to do friendship. It doesn't have to be so, it really doesn't. It really doesn't. Yeah. So I hope that helps. I'm just sharing from my own personal life. I have a lot of friends. I have several friendship groups. Some of them overlap, some of them don't, But I've learned how to be my friendships have given me so much opportunity to develop as a person, to I'm it's hard to ruffle me. It's really hard. If you ever see me yelling, just know it was a life and death situation. It's very, very hard to ruffle me. It's hard. I will chew you up. I will call you out. I will insult your generation. But it's hard to like get me to really be. It's very hard. If you ever see me like that, either it had to do with my children or it was a life and death situation. Yeah, it's hard. But I wasn't always that way. But the reason I'm this way is because I haven't cut people off. I don't do that. I don't do this. I'm never talking to you again. If I see you on the street, I'm turning around. No. Mm-mm. So I allow human beings to be. There's a scripture that says the crucible is for silver and the furnace is for gold. I allow human beings to be my refiner. I allow you, like I allow human beings to be the lab, the experimentation lab where I get to discover things about myself. Then I ask, do I like this about myself? Do I not like it? Do I want to change this? Like I allow human beings to expose in me what I need to see so I can improve. And it's not about, I improve, they should improve. I don't give a shit. Nobody has to improve with me. I'm telling you, I know how to live parallel with people. It doesn't have to be, where you need to go. No. I run a business with a friend. The last 3 proposals that we've submitted, I'm the one that submitted them. But we are co-owners. When we established the business, because we are friends, I wanted our operating agreement to be ironclad. And so when we established the business, we had an agreement in that operating agreement that if one of us brings in business and it is proven that that person did 80% of the work or 90% of the work, whatever money comes out of it, that person will take 90% of it. So that's in our agreement. And the reason I put that there is because I know human beings. So the fact that we are co-owners and every proposal we submit is both of our names. But I'm in a position, she is very stressed right now. Okay, she has a lot going on. I have a lot going on too, but not as much as her. Okay. So the opportunities that we've been getting, I'm the one drafting the proposals. I'm the one pulling the evidence together. I'm the one making the case, and I'm the one doing all the liaising. I don't make her feel bad. I don't call her to say, this is another one that you didn't work. No, there's no need for that. Because the operating agreement has protected me. If any of those proposals end up yielding money, I'm taking the bulk of it. That's how you do friendship. Okay, you have to grow up. You have to grow up. You can't continue having this all or nothing. You have to, or else. I'm telling you, you find yourself 40s, 50s, 60s, you don't have any meaningful. Shola Shobawale said it. Remember in King of Boys, part 2, Return of the King. She said it in one of the episodes. She said, if you don't learn how to reconcile after you fight, eventually there's nobody left for you. She said it when she made Korede her heir. When she entered politics, remember, she needed somebody to be the king of the underground. The man that tried to destroy is too. That's who she called. A very deep lesson. I'm telling you, it's a deep lesson. The man that tried to destroy her from inside, that's who she called to come and take over underworld. She's going to top. She's going to the top. Yeah, take over. And the guy did it willingly. So it's just some very deep lessons. Yeah. So when you are young and your 20s and it looks like you will live forever, yes, that's when you have that, you are so easily triggered. No, trust me, you wake up in your 50s and you'll be looking for friends. You wake up in your 50s, and you will be looking for friends. Part of the reason why people become very possessive and dysfunctional in their families because they don't have friends. One of the reasons why people become so ultra possessive, whether it's their partner, their spouse, their children, you see mothers that cannot let their adult children breathe. Okay, the reason is because those people don't have a diversified enough social circle. They don't. So they end up suffocating their family members, suffocating their adult children, suffocating, they need their spouse to be everything. I want you to be my everything. I want you to be my best. I want to be. Nobody can be your everything. Okay, this is deep wisdom. Some of you will catch it, some of you to go over your head. Nobody can be your everything. You need to diversify your social life. Some relationships are ending. It's not because there was anything toxic or anything wrong. It's because they suffocated each other out of the relationship. You became suffocating. They cannot breathe again because I have to be everything to you. I have to be your confidant. I have to be your best friend. I have to be your this. I have to be your lover. I have to be. Why? Because you are not diversified. Both the man and the woman, you have not diversified your emotional, that is those who are fulfilling you. You have not diversified it. So now this person has to be your everything. You have to go with me everywhere. I want to travel. You have to come with me. I want to go shopping. You have to come with me. Waiting. and then when the person doesn't do it like that, you say they don't love me. If you really love, shut up. You are too needy. You are suffocating. You don't love me. You don't. You're not for me. You're not about me. You're not into me. Stop it. You are suffocating. The person need to breathe. Okay, so that's just some lesson from my own personal life. Yeah, so I have friends from all different walks. I'm telling you, I have a friend. The only time I hang out with her is party. She does not even come to my house. She doesn't come to my house. I don't go to her house. But whenever I see her, it's one club somewhere because she's fun. That girl, she's just fun. But if I'm going through crisis, she's the last person I will call. In fact, there's some things I went through. She heard through the grapevine. She heard, because people talk. I tell people gossip. So there were some things I'd experienced. She heard later. She heard. The next time we hang out at a lounge, she brought it up. She said, "Oh, friend, I'm so glad you overcame that. Oh, I heard it through so and so. I'm so happy for you, babe. Keep shining." That was all she said. Said, "I'm so glad you overcame that. I'm so glad that worked out for you, girlfriend. I love that for you. Keep shining." And we went straight back to party. Okay. So my other friend, who is a homebody and doesn't like to go anywhere, I'm content with her because I got my party fix from the other one. You see that? So I can allow my homebody friend to be exactly who she is. She's a homebody. So when I hang out with her, we are watching Netflix and eating popcorn. No problem. I don't start to pressure her. We never go out. We never go anywhere. We never. No, there's no need for that. I allow her to be who she is because that's where she's comfortable. She's a homebody. I want to go out, I know where to go. You gotta grow up, people. Okay? You gotta grow up. I'm not saying you should be like me and go and gather 20 friends. No. Even if it's two, even if it's three, you have to grow up and give people permission to be their authentic self. Stop trying to shoehorn people into roles and responsibility that you have decided you need, but they don't have the capacity to give you. Stop doing it. Stop it. And that applies also to family. That applies also to lovers and partners. It applies to everybody. The more authentic somebody can be with you, the longer that connection can last. It is difficult. Authenticity is like a plant growing out of a rock. No matter how hard that plant will pierce through. Yes. Somebody's authentic self will always manifest. It could take 1 year, it could take 10 years, it could take 20, it will come out. So the quicker you give people permission to be their authentic self with you, the better it will be. The quicker, and that's what people know about. People know, well, one thing they know about Queen Arit, you can be yourself. If Queen Arit does not like you, she will tell you. That's one thing with me. If I feel like I cannot hang out with you, I will tell you. I won't even leave you. I won't ghost you. I won't leave you in the dark. I will tell you. I will say, honestly, you and I don't gel. I beg. I don't want to disrespect you in future. Okay. So let's just keep it at arm's length. That's how I am. So, if you look at my friends and you're expecting to see the same person, you will never. My friends are eclectic. I have a friend. She knows I hate shopping. She loves to shop. Even if she's not going to buy anything, she will go to the shop. But she knows I hate shopping, so she never invites me. I will see on her WhatsApp status, oh, she went shopping with this person. Oh, she went shopping with that person. Oh, she went shopping. I never feel bad. You know why? Because I know that she knows that I hate shopping. So anytime she goes out for those excursions, she never invites me. And I don't feel bad. I will now comment and say, my dear, this looks good. Oh, where did you find it? Wow, this was a find. Wow, this was a steal. Wow. I'll be commenting. I hate shopping. I don't like shopping. I went on a trip with some other girlfriends of mine and we had time to kill in the afternoon. Both of them wanted to go to mall. I told them, I said, drop me in the movie theater. How long will it take you to do more? 3 hours. I said, oh yeah, drop me. Let me watch Spider-Man. Because I hate shopping, but I wasn't going to stop them from shopping. I wasn't going to make them feel bad for shopping. I wasn't going to make them feel guilty that I wasn't going to. No, there's no need for that. Drop me at the theater. I watched Spider-Man. They went shopping. When they finished shopping, they called me. I came out. They came and picked me. So I hope that helps somebody. I went on a tangent right there, but I hope that helps somebody. Relationships are a skill. Good relationships are built. Let me tell you something. I don't care how compatible you think you are with somebody. Good relationships are built. There's nobody that is just special like that. Nobody. You are not like that. I'm not like that. The best relationships on this world are built. They are built intentionally and deliberately. And they are built on a foundation of authenticity. Okay. So if you want to be rich in life, build relationships. If you want to be wealthy like you do not, build good relationships. You don't need many. I have many friends, but it took me time. I'm 45. I've been doing friendship since I was in primary school. My oldest friend, we're both 45 years old. We've been friends since we were 7. That's my oldest friend in the world. We went to primary school together. Okay. So I've been doing friendship for a very long time. So I know what I'm talking about. Okay. I think my newest friends are about 2 weeks old now, or 3 weeks old. I met them 3 weeks ago. So those are my brand new friends. But I have friends 30 something years. Okay. So I know what I'm talking about. Okay. This one, I know what I'm talking about. Okay. If you want to feel wealthy in this life, build relationship. And there are some relationships that you will be in a better place or a more mature place. You can teach people how to be in good relationship with you. Don't go into a relationship expecting that the maturity you have, they will have already. No, no. Some people, it is you that will introduce them to a better way of being a so be willing to, you can demonstrate it through your lifestyle, or you can have a conversation with them. So I have done that too. I have very good friends now. Part of the reason we are friends is because I laid down some ground rules. I told them, I said, this I will not tolerate, this one I will not tolerate. And then I invited them to also tell me, what won't you tolerate from me? What is a deal breaker for you? You invite them to also, you lay the ground rules together. And then you enjoy yourselves. Yeah. Okay, people, I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much. I will see you in August for the next Mentor Corner. Okay. Bye, everyone. Bye bye.
I was like, do I need to pull you out? I was like, it's almost 3 o'clock.
It's just after 2.
I know. Exactly. I thought it was
Okay.